Now we are on to designing algorithms. There are various ways in which you can design algorithm. Say in insertion algorithm, insertion sort is incremental. We sort from a1 to ji minus 1. We place aj correctly inside this, so that finally we get a1 to j, which is sorted. Incremental approach, but there is divide and conquer approach also. Divide and conquer, as the name suggests, this approach is just like this only. This is also a common approach. We divide the problem into number of sub problems, and we try to conquer the sub problems by solving them recursively using recursion. So what would be the base case? If the sub problems are small enough, just solve them by brute force, right? And then combine the sub problem solution to give a solution to the original problem. So this is divide and conquer. So merge sort, this sorting algorithm is based on divide and conquer only. Its worst case running time has a lower order of growth than insertion sort. And as we are dealing with some problems now, that is the problems divided into sub problems, we state that each sub problem as sorting subarrays from say some p to r. P varies from 1 to n initially, but these values change as we recurse through the subproblems. And we are only interested in this p to r solution, which will vary depending upon the divide and conquer methodology which is adopted. So divide by splitting the two subarrays means we are dividing it from 1 to say n by 2 and then n by 2 plus 1 to n. And here in case we want to generalize, so we say from a p q to a q plus 1 r, where q, what is q? Q is the halfway point of p r initially. And as I said n by 2, just because this is the first time we are dividing it, but when we divide it again and again, this p and q or q and r and p and r, they are going to vary. So conquer by recursively sorting these two arrays, because we'll get these arrays again and again in smaller form or smaller numbers. Then finally, we combine by merging these two sorted subarrays, APQ and AQ plus 1, just to produce a single sorted subarray, APR. And to accomplish these, we'll define a procedure which we call merge. So finally, we subdivide them and conclusively, we merge them. So when this recursion is going to bottom out, it will be coming out or it will be stopping when we have just one element, which is trivially sorted. One element is already always sorted. So let us take example of this pseudocode merge sort. We have a this is the array p and r, as we suggested that we start with p and r with 1 and n. And if p is less than r, what we try to do, we divide these two, means we try to find out the midpoint. So p plus r by 2, and we take the this floor just to ensure that we want a integer number. Then we merge on the merge sort on the first part, that is a till p, means p to q, and then q plus 1 to r. So p, in between we have q, then we have q plus 1, and then we have r. So pq, this is the first partition or division, and then p plus q plus 1 to r, that is the second partition, and we merge them. But again, these are recursive. So this merge sort will be calling this merge sort again. This merge sort will be calling again, and when this is over, then only this combination step will be executed. So we divide again p to q and divide q plus 1 to r, and we try to divide it till we attain this one element which is trivially sorted. So the initial call will be merge sort, as we said that we'll start with n and then end with n, and we will try to find out the middle one and take the floor just to ensure the index q is an integer, because we are dealing with an array a here, right? Okay, so bottom up view for n equal to 8. These are the heavy lines. With this heavy lines, they demarcate subarrays using the subproblems. So this is these are the lines which are subdividing it. So this is the array. Okay, we divide it, say 1 plus 8 by 2, that is 9 by 2, and this is going to give us 4.5. But we will take the floor, and that will be 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the middle point 4, and this is the second point. So this is the first partition, this is the second partition. We again apply recursively this subdivision here, and this is a subdivision, this is again a subdivision. Okay, then we again try to divide it. 2 and 5 will be divided into 5, and then again into 2. Okay, now when we are here at this point, we apply merge. So 5 and 2 will be merged, but we'll see which one is greater than smaller. So 2 and 5 will be our sorted sub solution. Again 4 and 7 will be sorted sub solution likewise, And when we combine 2, 5, 4, 7, we again try to combine them. So what will be the answer? 2, 4, 5, 7. So this array and this subarray, these two subarrays, they are now sorted. And we combine them again, and we finally find out the sorted array. So we started from initial array, we subdivided them, and try to apply this merge sort, and then finally we combine them. So n is a power of 2 are most straightforward, because if n is a power of 2, it will be quite good. And it is always good to apply this merge on this power of 2, so that we can initially get, because this is, if this is n, the next one be n by 2, the other one be n by 4, n by 4, 2 squared, 2 square and 2 cube, that will be 8. That is why when n is power of 2 is most straightforward. But this is also suggested that student might also want an example with n which is not power of 2. So if we have n equal to 11, here we had n equal to 8, that is the power of 2 to the power 3. Now we have n equal to 11. So what to do? This is so simple, because we have taken the floor. Every time we will get subarrays, but they will be of different sizes. Don't worry about that, because ultimately it is going to give, or boils down to the same result. So next to last level of recursion, some of the problems have only one element. These are only one element, and the recursion bottoms out on these single element problems only, as I suggested earlier also. Then the important part comes is merging. We have divided it. Now we want to merge. So we remain in this merge procedure. What remains actually in this? Array A and indices PQR such that P is less than or equal to Q and R. And subarray PQ is sorted, and subarray, the next one, the half after this, is sorted. And by the restriction on PQR, neither subarray is empty. It couldn't be empty, I must say. So the output will be the two subarrays that are merged into single sorted subarray APR. So we implement it to so that the order of n means it will take a growth or running time of order of n, where n is what? R minus P plus 1. This is the number of elements being merged. So ultimately there are n elements in these are n elements, and these are to be merged. So we have order of n. What is n? Till now n has stood for the size of the original problem, but now we are using it as the size of a subproblem. N was the size of original problem. Now n we are using it for the size of subproblem, and we will use this technique when we analyze recursive algorithm in the later sessions also. So original problem size will be n. In general, n will be the size of given subproblem only. But idea behind this linear time merging will be that just think about two piles of card. Each pile is sorted and placed face up on the table with the smallest card on the top. We'll merge these into single sorted pile face down on the table. So the basic step would be choose the smaller of the two top cards, remove it from the pile, and thereby exposing a new top card, and then place the chosen card face down onto the output pile. We repeatedly perform basic steps until an input file is empty. And once one input file empties, just take the remaining input file and place it face down onto the output file. So each basic step should take constant time. And we just check the cards, the two top cards. So there are less than or equal to n basic steps. Since each basic steps remove only one card from the input piles, and we started with n piles in the input piles. So the procedure should take order of n time. But we don't actually need to check whether a pile is empty before each step. So just analyze it like this. Put on the bottom of each input pile a special sentinel card. So it contains a special value that we use to simplify the code. We'll use this infinity, since it's guaranteed to lose to any other value. Infinite is highest. So the only way that this infinite cannot lose it is when both piles have infinite exposed as their top cards. But when that happens, all the non-sentinel cards have already been placed into the output pile. And we know in advance that there are how many non-sentinel cards? R minus P plus 1. That is, top ones we have performed R minus P plus 1 operations. Then never a need to check for sentinels, since they will always lose. So rather than even counting basic steps, we just fill up the output array from index P up through array, including this index R. So this is the procedure, or we can say pseudocode, that we start with two values and we create two arrays. Again we check from 1 to n1, 1 to n2, the first one and the second one, and we check it with the sentinel with the values with the sentinel, and we apply this. If we are just two piles are there, and we are just checking for the best one till the values are completed. So the book of Corman uses a loop invariant to establish that this merge, sort, they work correctly, right? So let us take example, because I have told all this, and I'm sure that some of you might not have got what I'm saying. So let us try and give you the proper solution of this. So please watch it very carefully now. We want to merge. We have from 9 to 16. This is the left part, this is the right part. Now we want to merge. So I is here and j is here as represented in this pseudocode. So we compare 1 and 2, and which one is the smaller? 1 is the smaller, we cancel it out. And now j becomes, j moves to this position. Now we again compare 2, I with j, 2 and 2. What will happen? The first one, the previous one, this we will cancel like this, and we will place it here. Okay, 1 is here, 2 is here. Then I will find it place here, and j will move. J has already moved here. Now 2 and 4, let us compare. Which one is the smaller? The 2 is smaller, so we cancel it out. And we move this 2 to this 11th position. This is the merging which is happening. Now I is here, j is here, 3 and 4. Which one is the smaller? 3 is the smaller. So we cancel this 3 out, and we replace or place it at this position, 3. J is here now, I is here. Let us compare I and j. Which one is the smaller or which one is the greater? 4 is smaller. So if we cancel 4 and we move it to this place. Now I is here, j is here, 5 and 6. Which one is the smaller? 5 is the smaller. We place it here and we cancel this 5. 7 and 6. We compare them. Which one is the smaller? The 6th is the smaller. So we move it, the 6, to this position and we cancel it. Now we have 7 and we compare it with infinity. And which one is, 7 is going to lose to infinity by any means. So let's just replace 7 by this. So this is what I was talking about in these sentences, but don't worry. I hope you understood this, so that worked. So the running time. The first 2 for loops take theta n plus 1 and 1 plus n2, that is order of n time. And the last for loop makes n iterations, each taking constant time. For what time? Theta n times. So the total time would be order of n. And how to analyze now the divide and conquer algorithm? We use recurrence equation. We employ this recurrence equation, and we commonly know it as recurrence to describe the running time of divide and conquer algorithm. So Tn is running time on some problem of size n. So if the problem size is small enough, say n is less than equal to c for some constant c, we have the base case. So the brute force solution take constant time just order of 1. But suppose that we have to divide a into some a problem, and each by 1 by b size of the original. So in merge sort we know that a and b equal to 2, we divide it to half. So let the time to divide the order of n problem be dn. So there are a sub problems to divide, and each size n by b, a problems, each of size n by b, and each sub problems takes t n by b. So this is t n by b to solve the time. But we spend how much time? We have a sub problems, each take t n by b time. So a into t n by b, this is the time to solve the problems, sub problems. So let the time to combine solutions be cn. This is cn. So we took cn, dn, and then a t n by b from here. But theta 1 if n is less than equal to, so this is the base case. So for simplicity, let's just assume right now that n is of power 2. So a and b will regard it as 2 only. So each divide step yield 2 sub problems, but both of exactly n by 2 size. So the base case occurs when n equal to 1, but when n grows, that is n greater than 2, then time for merge sort step we divide, just compute q as just the average of p plus q by 2, that is dn. So order of 1 time it is going to take for dividing. What about conquering? We recursively solve these 2 sub problems that we have got here, each of size n by 2, so that will be 2 into n by 2. And to combine them, we have to merge n elements, so it will take of order of n times, so cn, that will be theta n. So since dn is equal to theta n here, in this case, cn is theta n, and we sum together, so they give a function that is linear. So order of n is the recurrence of our merge sort running time, and we just formalize it by writing Tn equal to theta n for n equal to 1, and that will be 2Tn by 2 plus theta n if n is greater than equal to or greater than 1. So solving the merge sort sequence or recurrence, we know by master theorem, we can show that this recurrence has a solution of n log n. Okay, log n is standing for log 2 and the base is 2. And compared to insertion sort, that is giving order of n square, the growth was order of n square the worst time. Merge sort is quite fast. So trading a factor of n for a factor log n is very good deal. In smaller inputs, insertion sort may be faster, but when we are talking about large inputs, merge sort will always be better because its running time grows more slowly than the insertion sort. So we can understand how to solve this merge sort recurrence without the master theorem. How? Let C, we know how we wrote this. So C be the constant that describes the running time for the base case and also the time per array element for the divide and conquer steps. So this is, we rewrite our recurrence relationship from here. This would be C constant we have written for n equal to 1 and 2tn by 2 plus cn for n greater than 1. So we are not using Master's theorem here. Actually, Master's theorem has come from this only. So draw a recursion tree now. We draw a recursion tree which shows successive expansion of the recurrence. So original problem, we have a cos cn. Plus we subdivide it into two problems, each costing tn by 2. So this is n, tn. This is tn by 2, tn by 2. Again we divide it by, we replace this by cn and this cn by 2, cn by 2. But we know that tn by 2 is nothing but tn by 4 and tn by 4. Again subdivided. And we subdivide it till the problem size get down to 1. So this is, we wanted 1, 1, 1, 1. So that will be again c into n. These are n elements. So that will be again cn. So everywhere, at every level, the idea is only, or the result is cn only. So let us add them. So that will be cn log n plus cn. Okay. So each level has cos cn. Each level has cos cn. The top level has cos cn. It divides into two subproblems. That is cn by 2, then cn by 4. So each time we go down one level, the number of subproblems doubles, but the cost per subproblem halves. That is, cost per level always remains the same. But how many levels are there? There are log n plus 1 level. How this log n has come? The height of this, actually this is a, binary kind of thing. So the height is nothing but log n base 2. So it will be log n plus 1. 1 will be the node. We use induction. The base class is n equal to 1 level. So log 1 plus 1, that is 0 plus 1, that is 1. Induction hypothesis is that the tree for subproblem size 2 to the power I has log 2i plus 1, that is I plus 1, right? Now, because we assume that the problem size is of order 2, the next problem would be 2i, that is 2i plus 1, nothing but 2i plus 1. A tree from problem size 2i plus 1 has one more level than the size 2i tree, that is I plus 2 levels. And since log 2i plus 1 is I plus 2 only, we are done with the inductive argument. I plus 1 result in I plus 2. So total cost is the sum of cost at each level. How many levels we have? Log n plus 1. We multiply log n plus 1 by cn. So cn into log n plus 1, that will be cn log n plus cn. And we ignore the low order. You know that in this case, cn is the low order. So ultimately, we come down to the running time as order of n log n. So this was about our merge sort. And now we are ready for the questions, first chapter questions of Gorman book. Thank you so much. Take care.